Hello, welcome to episode 98 in the Datapack tutorial series for version 1.21.4. We're going to be continuing with the better elevator with camo. So this is part 2. I've literally done nothing since the last video. Well, that's a lie. I've walked over here. I've changed it to episode 98 and part 2 on the sign. I'm even still holding my green block. Okay, so last time we finished off. Elevator is working. No problem. Today we're going to add the recipe and we're going to add the ability to camouflage the elevator block. That is what we're going to be doing today. Thanks again to GalSergey. And let's pop over. Well, let's just go straight over there. Here we are, exactly where we left off. Okay, because for me, it's about 2 minutes later. Right, let's close down all the windows we got open. Control K, W, and we'll just start with adding some folders and files. So we're going to need an advancement. So inside my namespace, a new folder, advancement, and inside there a new file, and we'll call it overlay, because this is going to be controlling what we're going to overlay the elevator block with. Okay, so inside function I'm going to create a new folder actually, and I'm going to call this overlay as well, and I'm going to put all my new functions in here. So let's have a new file. We'll have a cast. Cast is going to be a little mini raycast. Copy. Overlay, new file. We'll have a loop 1 second. Now we're going to be using that, and that's going to be checking, hey, is there an item display that doesn't have an elevator next to it? And we're going to check that every second. If there is, then give the block back. And then we're going to want, let's call it overlay. That can be run by the advancement. And we want to be able to remove the overlay. And we want to be able to set the overlay. Okay, so that seems all right. We need a recipe. So my namespace, new folder, recipe, inside recipe, new file. Let's call it elevator block.json. And we're also going to want a list of blocks that you can overlay onto the elevator. So my namespace, new folder, tags, inside tags, new folder, block. We're going to make a block tag list, new file, and we'll call it overlay block.json. Okay. Now, where should we start? Let's start with the load, because we're going to update the load. Now, we made it last time. We just need to add an extra command. We want to be running our loop 1 second function. So let's get that in here and start it up. So we're just going to do function loop 1 second. There we go. That started our loop. Let's do Control K W. That didn't shut all the windows down, did it? Control K W. There we go. Load is yes, it is still in there. Okay, right. Let's do our entity or our item tag list. Oh well, block tag list. Hang on, no, this needs to be an item tag list. Ooh, mistake already. Let's rename this from block to item. There we go, because we're going to be checking the item they're holding in their hand. That's what we're going to be doing. Right. Okay. Overlay block. Now, for this version, I'm just going to make a short one with just like 1 or 2 blocks in it. But the version I upload will have a file that GalSergey made, which has loads of blocks in, so you can have access to that if you just download the Datapack from the link in the description. So let's do mine. Open and close. Then we're going to have some values. Open square brackets. Inside values, I'm going to have required. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. I need to open up in there. There we go. Inside there, I'm going to have required. Required is going to be false. That will need a comma because it's not the last thing. And I'm going to have an ID. And this will be the ID of the item. So let's say Minecraft sandstone. Okay, so that's one. Actually, let's set it to the walls we've got. Let's do yellow wool. Okay, so we can overlay with yellow wool. If we want to add another value in there, then that's not a problem. We should just be able to copy that. And we'll put, for this one, we'll put green wool. Okay, so we should be able to disguise it as yellow wool and green wool. Okay, now we'll come back and visit this later when I'll paste in the crazy long list. If I've got a copy of it somewhere, have I? Let me just check a note file. No, I don't seem to have. I know, we could get it from GalSergey's website. We'll do that at the end of the video. Okay. Okay, that's that done. Let's go off to our advancement. And let's do this one in Misode, I think. So let's go to Misode, Advancement Generator, 1.2, 1.4, yep. Criteria, let's call it overlay. Add that. We'll have a trigger. Any block use, yep. Let's have a condition. The condition will be a location. Inside the location, we will have match tool. Okay, let's have a match tool. The predicate for match tool will be items. Now I want to match my custom list of items. So let's just pick any of these. Let's pick acacia logs because it's at the top at the moment. And let's also change this from minified to tabs. Okay, so we've got set to acacia logs at the moment. We'll change that to the item tag list we just made. We want another condition though. So let's add another condition. Add. The condition for this one will be a location check. The location we're going to check will be a predicate. Checking the block. We want the block to be a white shulker box. White shulker box, yeah. And I want to check some NBT on it as well. Let me see if I can get this right. So we're going to check lock, colon, open and close more curlies. In here, predicates, colon, open and close curlies. Inside predicates, speech marks, Minecraft, colon, custom, underline data. Actually, do you know what? I've put speech mark there. I'm going to use an apostrophe. And at the end of that apostrophe, colon, apostrophe, open and close curlies, apostrophe. Inside the curly brackets, elevator, underline, block, 1B. I think we're all right there. Oh, well, obviously, if it's not all right, it won't work. So we'll find out, won't we? And we need a reward. The reward is going to be a function. So let's do our normal placeholder. There we go. Now let's copy that. Let's take it back. Let's paste it in. Okay. No real errors jumping out at me, apart from the function. That's okay. Well, hopefully our autofill will help us here. ID. We're going to run the overlay. Save. Okay. So, if we're using any acacia log, no, we want to be using any ID overlay block. Let's save that. Now let's go to the overlay function and we'll say hi. Let's say something different because we said hi last time, just in case. Say overlay. There we go. Let's name the function. Right, let's go back. Let's do a reload. I've forgotten what colours we said. Did we say yellow and green, didn't we? Okay, said overlay. Didn't work for yellow. Now, can anyone tell me why it only worked for the green? The reason is we are not revoking the advancement anywhere. So if we revoke our overlay advancement, now if we use yellow first, now green won't work. Okay, but it seems to be good. Let's go back. Let's do overlay function. So first thing we'll do is revoke that advancement, which I believe we still probably got. So let's revoke it now during our testing. Okay, and what we'll do is we will revoke it in here as well. So that's revoked it. Right. What else do we want to do? Let's set a score for the players. Scoreboard, players, set. We'll have a fake player name, cast. We'll set their elevator block to 64. And let's now run the cast. Execute. Execute. Anchored. Oh dear me. Anchored to the eyes, positioned, boink, 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 one block in front, run, function, overlay cast. Save that. Well, let's go off to overlay cast. What do we want to do in here? So we want to reduce the score to start with. Scoreboard, players, remove, what do we call them? Cast, thank you autofill, elevator block, 1. Now we want to check if they find the elevator block. Execute, if a data block at those coordinates, we're probably going to put a -1 in there. Is there a double space? Have I double spaced that? Yes, I have indeed. Lock dot predicates, open and close curlies, inside there, Minecraft colon custom underline data. Oh, speech marks are already there. Close. More speech marks. Inside these speech marks, we will be looking for open and close curlies, elevator underline block 1B. Okay, and then if you do find it, we'll align on the X, Y, and Z. We will be positioned now back to the center of the block. So aligning to the X, Y, Z aligns us to the corner of the block. Now we want to go to the middle of the block, so we're adding 0.5 to all of those. And then we will run, we will return. So we're going to exit this function and we will run function. We want to set the overlay. Set. We need to pass it some data with entity at S, their selected item. So if we find a block and that block has our custom data elevator block, which I spotted a mistake, then we will align to the XYZ, which will be the lowest corner, and then we will position to the center of the block. We will return, we will exit this function, but before we exit, we'll run another function. Okay. And what we'll do here is execute if score cast elevator block matches 1 or higher. So if it's not run out yet, then positioned 0.1. So positioned a little bit in front, run function this raycast again. Okay, so we're going to keep going round, and we're only going to stop if we find an elevator block, in which case we'll run this function and pass the selected item, or if it runs out of distance to check. Let's save that. I suppose set would come next. Set. Now there might be an overlay on there already, in which case we want to remove that overlay. So we'll do an execute as any entity whose type equals item display. Let's be good. Yes, let's use the namespace. Whose tag equals overlay, whose distance equals less than 0.1, which is the same as this, less than 0.1, just in case you see it done that way. Run function overlay remove with entity at S. Okay. Yep, that seems alright. And then we want to summon a new item display. Summon an item display. Well, you're not going to autofill for me now, are you? Because I'm doing it as a macro. Let's still be good anyway. Summon a Minecraft item display at those coordinates. Let's give it some information. Its item, open and close, the ID of that item, open and close speech marks, will match the ID of the item that we passed. Open ID close. And we'll need to tag it as well, won't we? Yeah, so tags overlay. So that tag there is what's being checked up there. Okay, that seems all right. We'll find out soon if it's not. And let's take an item off the player as well. They've used an item. Since we're giving it back to them, let's take an item away from the player. Let's item modify entity at S weapon main hand, and we'll just have a tiny little item modifier which is going to have a function. Which that function will be Minecraft set count. Okay, and the count will be -1. What do we want to do with that -1? Add true. So we're going to add -1. Let's save that. So we need to do the remove still. So let's do remove. So return the item. Summon an item at the coordinates, but a little bit higher. What item do you want? The item I want will be the item we're passing. And we'll remove the item display. Kill S. Save. Okay, we did quite a few at once there, so hopefully it works, otherwise we've got some troubleshooting to do. Let's go back, let's reload. Let's do the green one. Good try. Let's do the green one. Interesting. So this is an item display. So it seemed to be good. What have we got down here? We seem to have put it on top instead of on the bottom. Now we can change it. We can't change it to green, lime, because we didn't set up lime. Okay, so it looks like there's a relatively easy fix. We seem to be one block too high. So somewhere we are too high. Let's go back and let's follow through our little list. So we're clicking on it, we're running overlay, and we're revoking the advancement. Yes, we're setting a score to 64. We're positioning it just in front of the player. That seems okay. And that's taking us off to cast. Okay. Execute if data block. That seems all right. Right, I think what we want to do here then, instead of positioning 0.5 up, which is taking us up to the block above, I think what we'll do is we'll position -0.5. Save. Let's go back. Let's reload. Now obviously this isn't a real block, which is why I can click through it. Okay, so it's worked. I'm going to guess it's worked. Yeah, it seems to have worked, but it's not deleted this one because this one is in the old place. So let's do a kill any entity. Don't do this on your world. I'm going to do type equals not player. Now, obviously, that will kill all the non-players on your world. That might be a bad thing. Here, it's okay because it was just those two things. Let's get a green. Let's get a yellow. Green. Nice. Yellow. Nice. Anything else? No. Grey? No. Okay. Now, we need a recipe still, so we'll go and do that. And let's also just add, just for testing, let's go to our tag list, our item tag list. Let's copy one of these entries. Copy. Let's just paste another one in, and let's just change that from green wool to grey wool. Let's save that. Let's go back. Let's do a reload. And now we can put grey wool as well. Okay, so you can see how this is functioning, how it's working. Right, we need a recipe. I'm going to do that in Misode, I think. Let's go off to Misode. Do a reset. Let's go off to recipe. Let's do a reset because you can see I haven't. Very untidy. Right, what sort of recipe do we want? I'm going to have a shaped recipe. And we'll need a pattern. So what did we have? Wool and ender pearl. Wool, wool, wool. Wool, ender pearl. Wool, ender pearl, wool. Wool, wool, wool. Okay, so we need a key. So key W is going to be any type of wool. Now, any type of, is it a list I want or is it a string I want? I believe I want a string for that. And, yes, we can use the hashtag. So we'll have Minecraft wool. Cool. We can use any wool. And for E, we only want ender pearl. So let's add a key of E. And we'll make that a string as well. And I'll just start typing ender pearl. There we go, ender pearl. That's all right. Now result ID. It's going to be a white shulker box. So if I just type shulker, we can pick white from the list. But we're going to need some components. Components, well, custom name. The reason for the name is so when you right click on it, it says elevator block is locked. Let's add that. And let's remove the italics from it as well. Why not? So let's open and close curly brackets. Now I'm not using speech marks. I am using apostrophes. So keep that in mind here. I'm going to have apostrophe, text, apostrophe, colon, apostrophe, elevator, block, apostrophe, comma, apostrophe, italic, apostrophe, colon, false. No apostrophes around the false. Okay, let me have a look at that over here. It seems all right to me. It looks okay. We can obviously we're going to try and craft a recipe, so we'll find out soon. It's not happy here though, is it? It doesn't like that. I like the way it looks though. I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to listen to you, Miss O. I bow to your wisdom, but at the moment I'm not. This will come back and bite me, won't it? Okay, now we also want to add the lock that we've been checking all this time as well. So we want a predicate. Hey, components. Minecraft white shulker box. That's all right. I want a predicate check on this for the lock. Where is it? Lock, lock, lock. Is it in this one? There it is. Lock. Add lock. There we go. Predicate check on the lock. Predicates on the lock. Unset. Custom data. Custom data. Add that. Add it as a string. And in here, we are going to check for, open and close, elevator block 1B, I think is what we've been using. Let's copy the recipe. Let's take it back. Let's put it into recipe. Paste it in there. version is wrong. Now, I'm hoping all of these mistakes is because my version is like, I don't understand this syntax. What is this? I'm feeling reasonably safe that that is what's happening. Let's go to Minecraft and check. So I'm going to need to get myself some white wool and some ender pearls. And my fingers are very crossed at the moment. Oh, that's a good sign. Elevator block. Okay. Now, can I actually put it on top? There we go. It works. Oh, that was me trying to jump off the top one there. I'll show you that. Let me just land. So if I jump off the top, when he thinks I'm trying to go up, it's just saying, well, there's no elevator block up there. Now, unless the sun is an actual giant elevator block, we're not going to be going up. Cool. Okay. We can camouflage it. We've got a recipe, so we can make it. Hello, Editor Infernal here, remembering that we completely forgot to do one of the functions. At the moment, if I break this, it's going to leave the item display there. We did not do the loop 1 second function. So let's go to VS Code, and remember in load, here we are running loop 1 second, and in loop 1 second, we have nothing. Okay, well the first thing we're going to do is schedule function loop 1 second to run again in 1 second. So it's going to keep itself running, and then we're going to execute as any entity whose type equals Minecraft item display, whose tag equals overlay at S, unless the block at those coordinates is a white shulker. Oh, I forgot that list was so long. Is a white shulker box. Oh my god. Can't find it on the list. There it is. White shulker box. We will run function overlay remove with entity at S. Save. Okay, now if we do a reload. Now when we break the elevator, we get the block back. Now it's only running every second. So there's sometimes could be a little bit of a delay, I suppose up to nearly a second. Oh, there we go. Okay, there's no point running that every tick, it's just pointless. There we go. Okay, I don't know where I'm going to insert this into a video, so back to the video. Last thing I said we would do, we will go off to GalSergey's Datapack assembler, and I'm going to copy in a big list of blocks, so you can get it from there as well, or download this Datapack. So let's go to GalSergey Datapack assembler. Oh, that's nice. I pressed tab. There we go. Let's go there. And here at the bottom, ooh, it's a big list. Okay, that's what we're going to check. Or that's what we're going to steal. Let's grab that. All the way down to the bottom, copy, take it over, put it in there, fill it in, press save, finish before the dog drives us mad. Over we go. Let's do a reload. Now we can probably use any old block. Yes, much better. We can't use items, so we can't disguise it as a button. Anyway, before that dog drives you and me mad, I will say goodbye. Thanks to GalSergey. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.